Welcome back to the channel, Vikings fans. Today we have some absolutely earth-shattering news coming out of TCO Performance Center that is going to change the way you look at the 2026 season. Is the J.J. McCarthy era already in jeopardy? Or is there a master plan behind the scenes that we are just starting to see? But before we dive into these shocking details that every Vikings fan needs to hear, I want to take a quick second to welcome you. Please do me a huge favor. Comment the city you are watching from right now. I want to see how far the Skol Nation reaches. Also, if you love the Vikings, leave a like on this video right now and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a single update on our team. Your support is what keeps this channel going. Now, let's get into the heart of the matter. The 2025 season has officially come to a close for the Minnesota Vikings. It was a year of extreme highs and devastating lows. Finishing with a 9-8 record is respectable, especially considering we closed the year on a blistering 5-game winning streak. That momentum felt incredible, and beating Green Bay to cap it off was the icing on the cake. However, despite that winning record, the internal alarm bells are ringing. Why? Because the quarterback position remains the biggest question mark in the entire Twin Cities area. J.J. McCarthy, the young gun from Michigan, finished the campaign with a passer rating of 72.6. In 10 games, he threw for 1,632 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Those aren't exactly Hall of Fame numbers, are they? We need to look at this through a historical lens. When you compare McCarthy's first active season to other Vikings legends, the gap is noticeable. Think back to Dante Culpepper, or even the early days of Tommy Kramer. The Vikings have a history of high-level quarterback play, and the standard is set incredibly high. Even Kirk Cousins, for all the criticism he received, provided a level of statistical stability that the team is currently missing. McCarthy spent his rookie year on the sidelines, learning the ropes, but when he finally stepped onto the field in 2025, the results were inconsistent. He showed flashes of brilliance, sure. That mobility and that arm talent are undeniable. But the turnovers? 12 interceptions in 10 games is a recipe for disaster in the NFL. It's hard to win games when you're giving the ball away more than once a game on average. The context here is crucial. McCarthy was dealing with injuries throughout the season, which hampered his ability to find a rhythm with stars like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. When your young QB is banged up, the entire offensive timing is thrown off. This brings us to the shocking reports from CBS Sports and The Athletic. Insider Diana Russini dropped a bombshell, stating that while McCarthy will return next season, his status as the guaranteed starter is effectively gone. Can you believe that? After all the draft capital spent on him, the Vikings are already looking for emphatic proof that he is the long-term answer, and they didn't get it this year. This sets up a massive offseason drama. The team is now officially in the market for an established option. We aren't just talking about a random backup, we are talking about a player who can step in and take the reins if McCarthy falters again. This takes us back to the historical struggles of the franchise. Whenever the Vikings have had a gap at QB, they've often looked for veteran stopgaps. Think about the Gus Ferrata era, or even the Case Keenum miracle run. The front office knows they cannot afford to waste a roster this talented. With a defense that showed life and an elite receiving core, the window for contention is open right now, but it's being blocked by uncertainty at the most important position in sports. Fans on Reddit and Twitter are absolutely divided. Half of the Skol Nation wants to go all in on McCarthy, believing that another year of development and a healthy offseason will turn him into a superstar. The other half is terrified that we are wasting Justin Jefferson's prime years with a quarterback who is essentially a turnover machine. The pressure on general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is reaching a boiling point. If he misses on this next QB move, it could cost him his job. We have to look at the numbers. A 72.6 passer rating ranks near the bottom of the league among starters. If you look at the last 3 seasons of NFL QB development, most successful young players show a significant jump in their second year of playing. If McCarthy doesn't show that jump, the Vikings are in a world of trouble. This is why the news about looking for a bridge or a more reliable backup is so significant. It signals a lack of total confidence in the young prospect. McCarthy's own words after the Green Bay win were telling. He said, "Tomorrow, there's nothing promised." That doesn't sound like a guy who feels 100% secure in his job. He knows he's renting that locker room, not owning it. The storytelling here is fascinating because it mirrors the struggles of so many high-drafted QBs who find themselves in the quarterback hell of the NFL. Will he become the next franchise icon, or just another name on the long list of Vikings QBs who couldn't get the job done?
Continuing our deep dive into this Vikings quarterback crisis, we have to talk about the names being floated around to replace or mentor J.J. McCarthy. One name that has sent shockwaves through the fan base is Mitchell Trubisky. Yes, you heard that right. CBS Sports' Ran Carthen has officially suggested that Trubisky should be the man Minnesota targets. Now, I know what you're thinking. Trubisky? The former Bears quarterback who struggled in Chicago? But listen to the logic here. Carthen views him as a bridge quarterback, someone who has seen it all, played in big games, and most importantly, has spent time in the Buffalo Bills quarterback room with Josh Allen. The idea is that he can bring that veteran maturity to help McCarthy grow. Let's break down the financial implications of a move like this. Trubisky would be a significantly cheaper option than a high-end trade target like a Kyler Murray or a veteran like Dak Prescott. The Vikings are currently navigating a tricky salary cap situation. They have massive contracts on the books, most notably Justin Jefferson's record-breaking deal. They need to be smart with their money. If they can get a veteran like Trubisky on a team-friendly 2-year deal, it allows them to keep the rest of the roster intact while providing a safety net for McCarthy. But is Kevin O'Connell really the quarterback whisperer everyone says he is? We've seen what he did with Kirk Cousins, and we've seen how he navigated the mess of injuries last season. If anyone can fix a veteran like Trubisky or refine a raw talent like McCarthy, it's O'Connell. But the risk is enormous. If you bring in a veteran who ends up being just as inconsistent as the youngster, you've gained nothing. The analysis of the market shows that several other teams will be hunting for QBs too. The Raiders, the Giants, and maybe even the Jets will be looking. This drives up the price for even mid-tier veterans. The Vikings have to decide, do they trade away more draft picks for a proven starter, or do they play the long game? Insider Diana Rossini's report suggests they are exploring all established options. This could mean a trade for someone like Matthew Stafford if the Rams decide to rebuild, or perhaps a run at a free agent who hasn't been mentioned yet. The rumors are flying, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Let's look at the tactical side. The Vikings offense under O'Connell requires a quarterback who can make quick reads and accurate throws to the intermediate part of the field. McCarthy struggled with this, often holding the ball too long and taking unnecessary sacks or forcing throws into double coverage. A veteran like Trubisky, while not a superstar, has shown the ability to manage a game and take what the defense gives him. But would the fans accept it? The fan sentiment right now is one of extreme anxiety. People remember Trubisky's struggles in Chicago all too well. To see him wearing purple and gold might be a bridge too far for some. However, if he comes in and wins games while McCarthy develops on the bench, all will be forgiven. That is the nature of the NFL. We also have to consider the maturation aspect. Carthen mentioned that Trubisky could help McCarthy's growth. Being a starting QB in the NFL is 90% mental. Having a guy in the room who has dealt with being a high draft pick, the pressure of a big market, and the pain of being benched could be invaluable for McCarthy. It's about building a support system. If we look at the 2026 schedule, the Vikings have a brutal opening stretch. They cannot afford a slow start. They need a quarterback who can hit the ground running. If McCarthy isn't ready by training camp, the bridge becomes the lifeline. In conclusion, the Minnesota Vikings are entering one of the most pivotal offseasons in recent memory. The decision they make at the quarterback position will define the next 5 years of the franchise. Will they stick with J.J. McCarthy and pray he develops into the star they envisioned? Or will they bring in a veteran like Mitchell Trubisky to stabilize the ship? Or perhaps, as Diana Rossini suggests, is there an even bigger trade brewing behind the scenes that we haven't even seen yet? One thing is for sure, the quarterback whisperer Kevin O'Connell has his work cut out for him. The margin for error is zero. The pressure is on Kwesi Adofo-Mensah to deliver a roster that can compete for a Super Bowl, not just a winning record. What do you think, Skol Nation? Should we trust J.J. McCarthy for one more year, or is it time to bring in a veteran to lead the way? Should we go after Mitchell Trubisky, or is there another name you want to see in Minnesota? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your trade ideas and your predictions for the 2026 season. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more breaking Vikings news and deep dive analysis. We will be here all offseason, keeping you updated on every move the team makes. Thanks for watching, and as always, Skol Vikings!